Hi again, Greg Brail from Sonoa here with Ryan Bagnulo. We're talking about clouds and cloud security. One of the problems that we hear from customers deploying cloud computing resources, especially infrastructure as a service, is the idea of how do I keep myself from vendor lock-in? What do I do when I've spent a lot of time building resources out on one cloud provider? What if that cloud provider changes its terms of service, is no longer able to support my security and audit requirements, perhaps even goes out of business? How can I mitigate that risk by spreading my services across multiple cloud providers? And there are a lot of questions that need to be answered there. And why don't we get started?
Sure. So the old way of doing authentication was you have an LDAP directory.
Right. One big one somewhere in your back end of your enterprise.
And it gets replicated all over the place.
Right.
Do you really want to replicate LDAP directories across all the different cloud providers that you're doing business with? Because I mean, the real vision of cloud is that you're not just doing business with one cloud provider. I mean, yeah, Amazon's got a great service, Rackspace has a great service, but there are going to be other cloud providers in other countries that you'll have to do business with because of in-country data regulations.
Well, that's another aspect. It's not just wanting to spread your risk, but you're required by law to have the
keep
data
the data
locations.
in the country. It has to stay in Germany, it has to stay in the United Kingdom, it has to stay in Brazil.
Right.
So you'll have to go to a cloud provider in that country. Do you really want to replicate all these IDs and passwords all over the world?
Absolutely not.
Is there another way? Yes, there's another way. Tokens. And this is a standard that's evolved, SAML, the Security Assertion Markup Language standard that's evolved over the past decade. Started in the Java world. It's now pretty much an open standard, and it doesn't matter your programming model. It works with REST web services, with the old WSDL web services. And I think it's a very promising, especially SAML 2.0 tokens are a very promising form to do machine-to-machine federated single sign-on.
Right.
It's effectively the concept. This is a federated cloud. You've got cloud resources in Washington State, cloud resources in Texas, cloud resources in New York, cloud resources in Germany, in the United Kingdom, and the person's going to come in, the user might come in through some portal. He'll log on using perhaps multi-factor authentication. It could be biometric, it could be an X509 certificate.
Or it could just be a username and password.
Could be an ID and a password, right? Could be a token of some kind. And all of these factors then need to be either sent to each cloud destination where that user is doing business, or you could put in place a layer of security abstraction, a token. And this is another value that ServiceNet provides as a service on the edge of your cloud, is to act as a trust association interceptor.
Okay.
And intercept whatever.
We probably won't change the product name anytime soon, but that's it.
But it's a concept.
Yes.
A TAI it's a concept, and so this concept of intercepting whatever mechanisms of trust you wish to use, be it IDs and passwords,
and translating.
Right. And you want to transform that token or ID and password into another token that's accepted, and effectively creating private trust domains between your clouds. And in order for the transaction to route from cloud A to cloud B, the transaction must include in its header this SAML token that has a valid signature. If the transaction only includes an ID and a password, it should be rejected because there's no LDAP directory in the United Kingdom cloud. You didn't replicate it over there. So you now have a simpler design. You don't have the risk of data corruption through replication failing across these wide area networks. And you've implemented a solution that enables effectively machine-to-machine single sign-on to occur through the use of SAML tokens as